I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly what I tell people to do, and I'm just going to go with it. I ripped off the Band-Aid. So I finally, hello, Facebook, not Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. That Kimberly. I just started on Instagram as well, going live. So I'm live on these 4 different platforms. I usually go live on Instagram first and then come over to StreamYard and start my live to go to LinkedIn, um, and all the other channels. But I thought I would try and do a duo combination about this, considering it has to do with preparation and all things leading into the NMHC OpTech, which stands for the National Multifamily Housing Council. It's their annual PropTech that they have every year. So where multifamily folks come together. And so I wanted to share that because it's part of my week this week as I'm getting, doing all the things I need to do to prepare. But definitely starting off with my day on a regular, doing some guided meditation, which I found has really, really helped me a lot. And trying to get in a good 15-minute walk if I can. But at OpTech, I'll be definitely getting plenty of walking time, so I'm not too worried about that part. You definitely get in your 10,000 steps at OpTech. So wherever you're catching me from today, please, if you have any questions about OpTech, leave them in the comments. If you're going to OpTech, leave it in the comments. Let me know. And if you know somebody that's going, but you're not, share this with them. It definitely, I have about 13 tips to consider for traveling for this conference, which is an annual conference that happens this year at the Las Vegas Wynn Resort, and it's a conference and expo. There's lots of sessions. Some of the headliners are Natalie Nixon. She's the creative strategist and president of Figure 8 Thinking. Reed Blackman, he is a ethicist and philosopher, founder and CEO of Virtual Ethics Consulting. Brian David Johnson, he used to be with Intel Corp, and Nicholas Thompson, who is CEO of Atlantic, and they're speaking at the OpTech. So it's pretty exciting stuff, and preparing for it is definitely something that starts several weeks, if not months, prior to the event. So make sure, first number 1 tip is register. If you have not been to this conference, you should absolutely go, and you should absolutely register, because when you register, you get access to so much more details. You have a badge, you get the correct schedules, you even have, if they have certain event you can attend, which at this conference, if you're a registered attendee, you could attend both the sessions and the expo. Not every conference is like that, but this one you can. So I always highly recommend to people that they get registered, because they also get an email list that comes through. It's not an email list. I take that back. It's more, this one is more just a list of attendees, and it shows who's on who the person is, what their position is, and what company they're with, and that way you can look them up, and you can reach out to them via email or phone number to touch base, to connect with them, to see if you could set up mini 30-minute meetings. This conference is super busy. Everything is back to back. They do have a cocktail reception hour at the expo, which is awesome, and that's on Wednesday and Thursday. Wait a minute. I don't know if they're having the cocktail hour on Wednesday, but they for sure are having it Thursday. So just for those who are, I just want to make sure, reviewing the agenda ahead of time is always really, really important, so that you can pick out what sessions you want to go to, what you want to hear, because those are other people, management folks and people on the operator side, that go to these sessions. So it's a great place to network at the same time and run into people that you might be calling on. So I always tell people to look at the attendee list and have a target, so that you can basically give your elevator speech to, and that's the next tip, is prepare your elevator speech. Make sure you cut it down, you make it short, but you grab their attention. That's super important on one of the top for things in the to-do for while preparing for NMHC. Make sure you have that pitch ready. Make sure that you bring business cards. If I could show you my phone, but I'm on Instagram as well right now, so my phone's being used, but you could have an electronic business card. There are lots of apps now. One is that I use, it's called Poply, that you can, they either send you a some sort of QR code or like some sort of card, or they even have wristbands that have a Bluetooth scanning code that you can bump the phone with that gives your contact information out, or you just go to the Poply app and you have them scan your Poply, and that's an electronic business card. So I highly recommend that. But if not, then bring your business cards with you, because that is the time while you're at the conference is to have these connections, and asking for their business card is super important. The next thing that I always recommend people doing is getting branded out. So making sure that they're wearing head to toe everything that has to do with their company, not meaning literally like you're not walking around with a computer or something of that sort, but you have a t-shirt, or you have a suit jacket and a t-shirt that has your branded logo on it on the front. If you can print something, if you're wearing a t-shirt, more fun, relaxed environment, having something put on the back of the t-shirt for OpTech, because as you're walking to and from sessions and in between trade show to your rooms and everything else, you're a walking billboard. So dress appropriately and scream your brand is what I always tell people. Make sure that you have your technology and all the things you need, whether it's your phone, your tablets, laptops, everything, and all the connections you need, so that way you're not stuck out with some sort of dead device that you need during this time. Wear comfortable shoes. That's super important. You'll do a lot of walking. If you're used to wearing heels and walking a lot, then that's great. Then good for you. But I can tell you, I can't do that. So I try to find some fun, casual, but yet professional looking shoes that will match my attire. I'm very much into the bling and the fun different patterns. So that's usually what I wear. But comfortable shoes is an absolute necessity. It's something that I don't leave home without going to any conference. I make sure that I have that. I make sure that I arrive on time for all the networking possibilities, which are usually right before a session, and you can always stay late and talk to the moderators or different people that are on the panel, because those are also owner operators that are speaking from time to time, but always just arriving on time, or even just a little bit before, like I said, because you can do some networking before the session starts, and possibly sit next to somebody that you might be wanting to talk to, but don't talk during the session. Wait till afterwards. Make sure you download the other tip that I have for you is to download the app for the event. And I would tell you what that app is, but they've changed it and I don't want to mess up, but they do have an app. So when you register, make sure that you ask what the app is, if they don't tell you beforehand, which they're really great about pointing out that they do have an app when they hand you the agenda as well. Make sure all your travel essentials are there with you. I definitely, when it comes to my mental health, to survive a expo and trade show conference, I have to have all the things, and I'm walking around with them in travel size, but definitely everything from my smells to the taste to my chapstick, super essential, because you don't want to be talking to somebody with bad breath and chapped lips. I carry this actually thermos or water bottle, if you will, around with me, but I try to stay hydrated. That's number 12, is staying hydrated. And if you drink lots of water, that helps with your energy level. And if you can pack some, snacks, they are great. NMHC does have like water and snacks out from time to time during sessions, depending on the day, but don't rely on them to provide that. And Vegas is expensive, so take a little bag of take some travel sized munchies if you can, so that way you have some energy throughout your day, because it's super important when you're at a conference that you don't lose that energy. I also like to take, instead of doing an energy drink, which a lot of people do, one of them that I started taking is Celsius. I'll take that in the afternoon so I don't have such a bad crash when it comes to Red Bull. But I also take some BC powder. If anyone's ever heard of it, it's caffeine and aspirin crushed up, and it's a powder form. You can buy it in Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, wherever, and it helps for your afternoon. It helps me for my afternoon if I have a headache, or if I just need a little bit of kick, a couple more hours for the day. Instead of drinking coffee that might keep me up late or taking an energy drink, I take a BC powder instead. So that's something that I'm usually traveling with. So if you see that, and you need some, if you see me at the conference and you need some BC powder, feel free to ask me. But anywho, I appreciate everyone dropping in, checking in. This was kind of a combo. I wanted to see how it worked, if I could do an Instagram at the same time as I was doing the live to LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter. I didn't go live to Facebook. I'll probably just share the YouTube link over to Facebook once I'm finished here, and so you can watch the replay there on Facebook as well. But I don't think that it's the best. I think that I need to continue to start going live with my Instagram first and just giving everybody an update, and then moving on to the industry live do as we do that I usually do afterwards, which I did do it on a Wednesday. I'm having to reschedule a bunch of things, so I wanted to go on. The thing with me right now is the consistency. If I show up, even if it's on a Tuesday or it's on a Wednesday, if it's at 2 or might be at 4, I'm shooting for every Tuesday at 4 p.m. and that's what we will be not next week. I won't be going live. It's Halloween that week and I'll be in Vegas, so I'm not going to try and extend myself to the point where I try to do a live and be distracted. I don't want to do that. I feel like it's not a good use of my time and your energies to watch. So I want to make sure that I come to you with something specific as it relates to my mental health or what I'm doing that week. And this was something I thought I would try. So I'm going to go back to just doing the industry lives, keeping it by itself on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. But coming on a little bit before, when just to let people know that we are going live. That I'll do that on Instagram a little bit before I go live on all the other social media platforms. So I appreciate you stopping in. Oh, before I forget, oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Follow up after going through this conference. The key is when you're meeting, and I know I kind of jumped, but I felt I needed to talk about follow up. That when you're networking with people and you're getting their business card and you're talking to them, make sure you ask them when it would be a good time to follow up with them. Don't assume. And it's good when you ask them when that they're telling you a date, and so they know that when you follow up somewhere around that same time, if it's not that exact date, it's close to that they said that, and you're being respectful of their time and what they have going on. So follow up, half the battle is the follow up. People don't follow through and follow up. So if you're going to take someone's information and give them some information and talk and set appointments and do all those things, make sure you follow up. It's super important at any conference. It doesn't matter whether it's NMHC's conference or a local small local conference. It doesn't matter, wherever, just follow up. That's what trade shows are for, and conferences like this, to bring people together and to connect and to actually do business and collaborate. So I appreciate everyone stopping in, and if you watch on the replay, make sure you put hashtag replay, the word replay, and where you watched from. So what city that you're in, or what state, either one. So like hashtag replay Texas, and I'll know that you watched from Texas and that you watched the replay. So until November the 7th will be the next time we come on, and I actually will be on with Lissy Daniels, talking about the social media scaries. That will be the week after I get back from NMHC's OpTech. So not next week. We will be silent next week. I will just be coming to you live from just pictures and video and updates on the stories, as they say, on the Insta, and some stories on the Facebook. But I won't do a live per se with a guest and a topic until November the 7th. So Until then, I appreciate you stopping in and joining me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Again, if you know somebody who could use this information, please share it with them. And until next week, remember, sharing is caring. So thank you guys. Bye.